technology plays a key role in making financial inclusion possible.
Digital mechanisms have given us an opportunity to really leapfrog what it will take many years to achieve.
The game changer was the advent of digital financial services.
The new technology definitely lowers the barrier of entry to the financial services sector, as well as substantially broaden the access to ordinary consumers to basic financial services.
By using mobile technology, by using cloud computing and big data, it can really bring the inclusive financial service to more people.
If it's no risk, probably there's no innovation.
Financial innovation is a laudable objective, but innovation without supervision is a formula for disaster.
It's a small change on the surface, paying your supplier by mobile phone. But when you've never had a bank account, it makes life safer and more convenient.
Kuna mtu maalum ambao tulikuwa tumemchagua anazipeleka hizo hela. Lakini ilikuwa ni hatari sana kwa sababu anaweza akaibiwa.
Umpe hiyo cash, alafu ndo asafiri apeleke mpaka kule na wewe ndo upate mzigo. Lakini kwa sasa imekuwa rahisi sana.
Mobile network operators shook up the Tanzanian market almost overnight with a simple but revolutionary financial product: payments over the mobile phone. In the competition between the country's MNOs, mobile money is the main battleground, and the regulator has watched closely as they fight it out.
When we started with the process of digital financial services, we did not have concrete regulatory framework. So we had guidelines and we allowed the market to move on.
The regulators in Tanzania were quite open-minded. They allowed the MNOs to have a license to introduce these financial services.
In the beginning, transfers could only be sent to those using the same network provider, but the central bank said that agents shouldn't be tied to one mobile operator.
Mr. Mdoe Ali, who is an agent, people come to him to deposit or to withdraw. These agents are not exclusive. They welcome every provider.
The next phase was for the mobile operators to agree the rules that would allow e-money to be transferred from wallet to wallet across providers.
Tanzania is the first country for mobile financial services to interoperate. Interoperability, in a very simple way, means that customers can push e-wallets, e-value among themselves, regardless of the subscribers where they belong. Previously, this was not the case. Today, interoperability allows all these transactions, all these people here, to transact among themselves. This has been a huge change.
About 10% of all transactions now take place across networks, but the bigger change is still to come.
Next 5 years in Tanzania is the expansion of interoperability. It will move from mobile network operators, but it will also go to banks and it open up an entire ecosystem.
As the markets matured, mobile operators and banks have begun to cooperate to offer a wider range of digital financial products. Empower is a partnership between Vodacom and the Commercial Bank of Africa. It connects the M-Pesa payment system to a simple bank account where customers can earn interest on savings and access small amounts of credit instantly through the mobile phone. Leonard uses it to save and borrow small amounts as he builds his IT business in Kariakoo.
If you want to meet those conditions of being eligible to borrow from them, you must be saving as well. So they track your saving trends with your borrowings.
Demand is high. 5 million Tanzanians borrowed nearly $20 million from Empower in just 2 years. And other mobile operators like Tigo and Airtel have partnered with regulated institutions to offer digital credit over the phone.
They can get it, as and when. It's just a blink of an eye. It's just a second by, pushing a button.
Lucas Hinju uses Tigo credit to buy nets and equipment for his boat.
Muda mwingi litakuwa nitumie kufuatilia haya masuala mpaka kuja kupata mkopo. Muda ule nafanya kazi na kujipatia kipato.
Mobile loans are booming, but as more gain access, protecting and empowering Tanzanian consumers will be critical.
The challenge now for regulators is to put the necessary regulation to ensure soundness of the system, but also to protect the consumers.
It's happening very fast to the speed of the understanding and the capabilities of consumers. So that's where we really need to put more of our efforts.
The types of people that we are talking about are not the ones that may necessarily have the powers to negotiate. And if they can't trust these mechanisms, they will not be able to use them. And if they don't use them, the impact may not be achieved.
Nowhere has mobile exploded and at such scale as in China. Everywhere you look, there's a smartphone. With it, internet finance, the name they use here for digital financial services, has become a way of life. Mobile is used to pay for anything and everything.
出门要带现金，一定不能忘记带现金。但是像现在，如果我出门比较急，没有带现金，什么东西都没带，但是只要你把手机带上就 OK 了。
就是生活缴费，包括像现在的很多城市开放了缴电费、水费，然后煤气费啊、宽带啊，这些都比较方便。
Alipay, the payments platform that grew out of the Alibaba Group's e-commerce sites, and its competitors like WeChat and Baidu, have spawned a whole series of mobile financial services.
优势的话会节省时间嘛，就相当于银行自己随身携带一样。
比较便。
Internet technology is opening up new possibilities. If done properly, they could really promote financial inclusion in broadening access to credit, access to equity financing.
Payments and storing value electronically hasn't only made life more convenient. For poor consumers and small business owners, the ability to smooth income and expenditure may be transformational.
就是人家一来了，比如说没带钱呢，或者怎么着，直接来手机支付也得了，就不用那么麻烦，找零钱啊，怎么着啊，都不用了。
Duzhou sells pancakes for a living. Customers pay using a range of apps, and at the end of each day, he transfers his profits with just one click of a button into Yuebao, a money market fund connected to his Alipay account.
主要是图个方便也。
He's not alone in valuing higher returns, instant liquidity, and how easy it is to use. Yuebao is the fastest growing mutual fund of all time, anywhere. By the end of June, it boasted almost $115 billion in assets and 300 million investors, more than the combined total of all other Chinese asset managers. And 1 in 7 users are from rural China.
Over 20 million of people every day. In the morning, they will log on to Alipay apps. They will check how much return they get.
It takes less than half an hour for Wenjun to apply for a 10,000 yen loan. And it's approved almost instantly. But this isn't a bank loan. The money is coming from ordinary people who've invested online using one of thousands of P2P platforms that have emerged in China in the last few years.
The past 3 to 5 years, we have seen explosive growth because the market really needs it. Credit needs are very strong. And when institutions didn't actually serve them, this P2P marketplace model was able to serve them.
P2P or marketplace lending has been growing at a dizzying pace, making China the largest P2P market in the world. It's still small compared to banking, but P2P and online lending is up more than tenfold over the past 2 years.
When you see an explosive kind of growth, as a regulator, you'll be both encouraged and alarmed. The banking and the traditional lines of finance, they are all regulated. But some of the new emergent forms of internet finance, they are not properly regulated or even unregulated. So that definitely creates a lot of risk, and we need to take prompt actions to address these problems.
Hongbin is a student of finance. He does his homework and he thinks he knows the risks. But he worries that some investors don't know what they're getting into.
I have some knowledge to handle this. But I think ordinary people, they should take only a small proportion of their money in P2P. And that's the right choice.
Investor education and consumer protection are key to industry success.
These are not regulated banks. They are not protected by deposit insurance. So you can lose money.
Millions may be investing and borrowing with online marketplace lenders. But early morning in Chaoyang Park, they're not risking their pensions. Too many highly publicized cases of fraud have scared them off. More than a third of the 4,000 P2P platforms launched in recent years have collapsed.
I don't think P2P or equity crowdfunding or internet finance will go away. But if we don't pay close attention to bad cases, fraud cases, then the progress may be delayed.
我觉得应该就是净化这个市场，应该就是这个从这个监管的机构应该更加的严格的来审查这些P2P 的这些公司或者网站，让这个市场呢得到净化，让它真正能发挥它的作用。
As marketplace lending and internet finance grows, the regulators have begun to step in.
The new entrants, they came without supervision, without a licensing requirement. It's important to close that loophole. You have to have a level playing field. So that's why we started setting up a proper regulatory framework for internet finance.
The internet finance guidelines are just the beginning. It's clear there'll be more to come from the regulators as they work with the innovators to understand the risks and chart the future of global finance.
It's important for the regulators to catch up, to ensure potential risks are fully covered. There shouldn't be loopholes, gaps.
As long as you have the dynamism in the market, there will always be a need to understand the products and how best they can be supervised and regulated.
In the next 10 years, we want to serve 2 billion people globally.
I see a more comprehensive, more inclusive financial system driven by technology, driven by innovative business model, driven by smart regulation, really powers the growth of the country, really powers the growth of millions of small businesses and micro-entrepreneurs.
We have reached a point of no return. We need now to shift the country from access to usage. And that is how I think will bring more impact.